Hi guys, it's Ben Heath from Lead Guru, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create a Facebook sponsored ad. So if you've never created an ad on Facebook, if you've never, or you have created an ad but you don't really know what you're doing, you weren't really confident that you had all the right settings and all that sort of stuff set up, then this video is for you. I'm going to go through each step in a lot of detail, show exactly how to do it so that when you do want to advertise your business on Facebook, you can go ahead and do so. So the first thing you need to do is you need to head into Facebook's Ads Manager. Now you can create sponsored ads from your page, from your Facebook page, by boosting ads. You'll often see that little blue button option beneath your post that says boost post. You don't really want to do that. There's a lot of functionality that you don't have when you just boost a post. Facebook has made it simpler for advertisers, but because you don't have that functionality, those ads don't tend to perform as well. You want to head into Ads Manager, which is where you can sort of create ads properly and you've got all the options available to you. So the way you get into Ads Manager, by the way, I'm already here. This is what you can see, my own ad account. The way you get into Ads Manager is when you're on within your Facebook account, there'll be a little drop down arrow in the top right hand corner, little black arrow. If you click on that, there'll be in that drop down there'll be a manage adverts, create adverts, create ads, manage ads, something like that. Click on that. That will bring you into Ads Manager. I'm not going to show you how to do it because then you see my personal Facebook ad account. You won't be able to see it anyway because my the little video of me in the corner would be blocking that. But that's how you get here. That's how you get into Ads Manager. Now, once you are here, you're obviously not going to have all this data and stuff that I've got. Don't worry about all of that. You want to head to Create. So click this little plus green Create button on the left-hand side, and this takes us into campaign creation. So I'm just going to call this example campaign. Buying type, I'd recommend you leave that as auction, and then campaign objective. Now this is a really important thing to get right. You want to select the right campaign objective. Too many people select campaign objectives that don't actually meet what they want. So what is it that you do want from this campaign? Do you want brand awareness? Do you want traffic? Do you want lead generation? What is it that you're actually looking for when you're advertising? If, for example, you want purchases on your website or leads via your website, then you want to select the conversions objective. Now, in order to use that, you will need to have the Facebook pixel installed on your website. I'll put a link to that in the video description. I've created a video on how to install the Facebook pixel on your website, so check the video description out for that. If you don't already have the Facebook pixel installed, very, very important that you do. But if you just want traffic, you want to send as many people to your website as possible, select traffic, whatever it is that you're looking for. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and select traffic. Just to show you an example, this is one that we use some of the time. A lot of the time we're using the conversions objective, things like that. So basically there are three levels to a Facebook ad campaign. You've got your campaign, which is all this stuff up here. You've then got your ad set, which is where you select your targeting, the people you're going to advertise to, and your optimization, so how your ads are going to be delivered, who they're going to be put in front of. I'll go through all the steps. And then of course the ad itself within that. So if we just go ahead and give this a name for now and call this example ad set, and then we'll just call this example ad. I'm going to go through each one of the stages. So if I now click Save to Draft, that'll pop that campaign into my account. Everything's going to take a little bit longer because I'm recording this video. Okay, so now we're at the campaign level. So there's nothing we need to do here. Campaign budget optimization is something you may want to do. I would recommend not for most businesses, at least not to start with. That's a bit more of an advanced technique. So all you need to do with your campaign is basically select your objective. Make sure you get that right. You can set a spending limit if you want. If I don't want to spend more than £500 or £1,000, whatever it is, pop that in there to make sure you don't accidentally go over the limit. Otherwise, minimize this, and then we need to go into the ad set level where there's many more things to do. So click into your campaign, and now we've got example ad set. So make sure it's highlighted, come over here and select edit, and that will bring up this window. So because I've selected the traffic objective, that changes what options I have in here. If I'd gone with the conversions objective, I'd need to say what type of conversion I want specifically. Because I've gone with traffic, you'll see some slightly different options here. So you might have to customize that depending on the objective you select. Scroll down. Again, leave off dynamic creative, leave offer turned off for now. Those are advanced techniques. This is obviously sort of beginner's tutorial. So just stick with the basics for now. First thing you want to set is your daily budget. Again, a lot of people ask me, how much does Facebook advertising cost? And the answer is, it costs as much as you want it to cost. You can start with £5 a day. You can start with £50,000 a month. It really is up to you. So I have actually written a blog post all about how to set your budget. Again, I'll link to that in the video description. It basically shows you how to work backwards from your average customer value, how much you're able to pay per lead, per purchase, shows you how to make some calculations to come to a good starting figure. I'm just going to leave that £20 for now. Start date, that's just gone for the time that I'm recording this video at, which is right now, so you can just leave that as is unless you want a campaign to start at a specific time. End date, I leave that off. I'm in my account all the time, checking my campaigns, making sure that they're delivering the results that I want. If you're not going to be doing that, if you want this to be more hands-off, then you can select end run on and then select a specific date to make sure that, during certain time, after a certain period, an ad will be paused. This can be great if you're running like a seasonal promotion, a Christmas promotion, something like that, to just make sure you don't accidentally advertise for a few days and forget about it after that date has ended. Okay, then we head down into our audience section. So this is where we're going to select the people that we want to advertise to. Very, very important part of a Facebook ad campaign that you get this right. So custom audiences, again, custom audiences and lookalike audiences, I've created videos about those. If you're interested in that, check out my YouTube channel. You'll see a lot more videos. Those are fairly advanced techniques. So for now, we're going to leave those empty. It's not something you're going to want to use if you're just getting started with Facebook advertising. Instead, you're going to want to come in and use Facebook's targeting options. Next thing to decide is your location. So obviously, if you operate on a nationwide basis, obviously I'm based in the United Kingdom. If I operate on a nationwide basis, then I'm going to advertise to the whole of the UK. If you just operate on a local basis, then you can pop in an address here, a specific city or postcode, and then select a radius. So if I show you an example, the city that I'm based in the UK is called Cirencester. So I could advertise to Cirencester plus 25 miles, and that gives me an area of people to target. So if you're a local business, that might be something you want to go with. You could limit that to 10 miles, whatever it is that you're after. I'm going to get rid of that for now and that's got rid of everything. So I just want to add United Kingdom back in. For my own business, for my own Facebook advertising services, I advertise nationwide because that's what I can deliver on. Age and gender information. So hopefully you know a little bit about your target market. Try and be quite specific here, particularly if you're advertising on a nationwide basis because you can have a large audience. So if most of your customers are women aged 35 to 55, go ahead and start with that audience. Languages. This is more important in some countries than others. In the UK, just about everyone speaks English, so I don't need to bother entering a language. But if you're in a multilingual country and you want to specify, I only want to work with people that meet this criteria of speaking this language, then go ahead and pop a language, whatever you want to do in there. Now, here's the detailed targeting section. Very important that you get this right to start with. If you advertise to the right people on Facebook, your sponsored ads, your campaigns can perform very, very well. If you don't advertise to the right people, they almost certainly won't. So what you want to do is you want to have a really good think about the types of people that are likely to be interested in your products and services. What are they interested in? What other interests do they have? For example, if you're an e-commerce company that sells tennis apparel, then you probably want to use the tennis interest, or perhaps people who like famous tennis players. What behaviors do people have? If your product or service or software, whatever it is fairly technical, maybe you want to go for people that are early movers in terms of technology and buy the latest products and things like that. There's a lot of options here. So what I'd recommend is that you have a little think about whatever it is that your product or service is. Think about the industry and then start typing some options into here. So for example, going back to the tennis apparel option, I can pop in, if I spell it correctly, tennis in here, and I can obviously target people who are interested in tennis. That might be a good option. That might be a little bit broad to go with. So I might want to test that and create another ad set that tests perhaps some famous tennis players. So in the UK, I could go with Andy Murray. So people that are interested in Andy Murray, it's going to be a lot less of those. Perhaps that's a slightly better target audience. So have a little think. Come up with a list of options going through here. You can either type in suggestions or you can browse through all the options. Lots of great options in here. Financial information, if you're in the US. Education level, do you want people, are most of your customers going to be college educated or higher? What's their politics? What's their family situation? Lots of great information here. Recommend you go through the options, have a think through, but don't stress about getting this 100% right at the beginning. You want to take your best guesses, create a few different ad sets so you can test a few different options. Then once you've got a winner, you can pause the others, divert your budget to the best performing ad set, best performing target audience. And then once you've generated some conversions, whether that's leads or purchase or whatever it is for your business, you can then go back in to your Facebook ad account, create a lookalike audience off those people, and that's what you want to target. Those are the best performing cold audience targeting options. I've created a video about that, so check out my YouTube channel for that, how to create lookalike audiences. But get this right first. If you're new to Facebook sponsored ads, if you're new to advertising on Facebook, then just go ahead and go with the options that sound like they best describe your target market. Okay, one of the things to notice when you are advertising is your potential reach over here. So because I've got the whole of the UK at the moment, 18 plus, we're looking at 43 million people. That's a much larger audience that I want. If I was, as I said, advertising tennis apparel, I could add in tennis here. What does that cut my audience size down to? Well, let's have a look. 5,600 people. That might be too broad for most businesses in the UK. Obviously, the audience size is going to depend on the country you're advertising in. US audiences are going to be larger because the population is much larger. Other countries might be smaller. So that might be a little bit large, although I may want to test it. A lot of Facebook advertising is testing different things, guys, so don't be afraid to get in there, try a few things out and see what performs best. If I go with Andy Murray, 1.2 million. Now that might be a much better target audience. And let's say, for example, if I'm going after people interested in tennis, let's say I know that I'm selling male tennis apparel as opposed to both male and female. So I might go with men. That's going to cut my audience down a little bit further to 500,000. And then let's say most of my stuff's relatively expensive. Most of my stuff is going to be bought by people who are 30 plus. Something like that. Gets me down to 260,000. So that might be a really good audience size to start with. Have a play around these, but just make sure that you keep your eye on this potential reach. I wouldn't, for a cold audience, I would be reluctant to advertise to anything under 100,000 people, unless you're advertising on a local basis, in which case you may have to, because of course, if you're only advertising 10 miles around your office or your, restaurant or hair salon or whatever it is that you have, then your audience is going to be a lot smaller. And then ideally in a country like the UK, get your audience under perhaps 1 million people, something like that range. But again, test a few different options. You'll work out within 2 or 3 days which one's performing best. I'm going to leave that as is for now. A couple of other options I want to mention down here is you can narrow your audience by putting in an and criteria. So let's say, for example, I want people to be interested in Andy Murray, and I also want them to be a parent. I don't want interests. I want demographics, parents all. This would be a great example for if in the UK I'm selling tennis apparel, but for children specifically, or children's tennis rackets. I want them to be parents, and I want them to be interested in Andy Murray, something like that, because they're more likely to have kids that are interested in tennis and therefore more likely to buy. So that could be a good option of narrowing an audience down by having and criteria. People must tick this box, and they must also tick this box. They must be described by both. If I go ahead and remove that, I can specifically exclude people. So I can't think of an option I would want to use here, but let's say there are certain types of target market that you don't want to advertise to. Well, then those people may be ones that I go and pop in here. So let's say, for example, there are people who are interested in Andy Murray, and I think that 20% of the people that are interested in Andy Murray are X, Y, and Z. Perhaps they're interested in football, and I don't want to advertise to people that are interested in football. Well, then I could exclude people that are interested in football here just by typing that in and popping that in there. That example doesn't really make sense, but hopefully you can see the sorts of things. This does come up. There are times when you do want to exclude parts of your target market. Okay. Add a connection type is beneath that. If you wanted to advertise to people that like your page, friends of those people, etc., etc. Again, these are some more advanced targeting options. For now, I would just stick with the stuff that you can find in here. So that's interests, behaviors, and demographics. You'll see the 3 different options: interest, behaviors, demographics, more categories, but they're rarely used. That you want to go through there. Okay, so scroll down to that. Now we've now established who we're going to advertise to. Now we need to tell Facebook where we want those ads to be. So you can either go with automatic placements, which is what Facebook recommends, and that's basically they will put your ad on all the places that are available on Facebook, and there are a lot. I wouldn't recommend that. I think Facebook recommends that because that way they make the most money. They have more places to put your ads. So I think that's a little bit, perhaps their incentive is not to put your ads on the best places possible. So I go with edit placements, leave all devices, that's fine. And then you can see all the different options that Facebook has in terms of different places they can put your ads. Most of the time, I see the best results from the Facebook feeds. So that's a mobile news feed, desktop news feed, and Instagram. So because of that, when I start a new campaign, when I create a new campaign, I'm going to go ahead and deselect everything that isn't Facebook and Instagram feeds. Again, this is something you can test. You can obviously run the campaigns, come back in later, see how they're performing. If certain placements are doing much better than others, I've got campaigns running right now for clients that work really well on the right column, for example. Others work well in Messenger. So it does depend on your business, but that's usually what I start with because 9 times out of 10, that's going to produce the best results. Those are the platforms, the different places your ads are going to be shown. All mobile devices, you can leave that be, that's fine. And then you've got to tell Facebook what you would like them to optimize for. So here, for example, what it's optimized for right now is link clicks. That's because I've selected the traffic objective, but Facebook are telling me that I might want to switch to landing page views, which in this case I would recommend. I would rather someone actually get to my landing page and have a look at it than simply click on a link but potentially not get there. Because if you're optimizing for link clicks, you could get people that accidentally click on links quite a lot. Landing page views might be better. But you can optimize for different things. You could optimize for impressions, etc. What your options here will depend on the objective that you select. So for example, if you selected the conversions objective, then you want to optimize for conversions. Leads, optimize for leads, etc. In this case, landing page views, video views, you want to select video views. It's quite straightforward. Then you've got bid strategies. They're quite advanced techniques. So again, I would recommend ignoring those for now and then leaving these options down here, delivery type, as standard for now. These are some things you can play with once you become a more advanced Facebook advertiser. But for now, keep it simple and go with that. So that's everything set on the ad set side of things. We've got our target audience, so we know who we're going to advertise to. We've selected our platform, so we know where on Facebook and or Instagram our ads are going to appear, which is great. And now we need to create the ad itself. So if you go ahead and minimize this, click in to your ad set, and there you've got your ad. So to create your ad, make sure you've got it highlighted here and then select edit. That'll bring up your ad editing window. Now, obviously, the first thing you want to make sure is that the Facebook page that your ad is going to appear from is your actual Facebook page. This is only really applicable if you manage multiple Facebook pages like I do. Most people just one. You're absolutely fine. You can scroll down now, and now there's basically two options here. You can either create a new ad or you can use existing post. So if I go ahead and select use existing post, I can then click on this little arrow down here, and this will show me my latest Facebook advertising posts that are on my page. So let's say, for example, I wanted to advertise this video, which I believe is talking all about lookalike audiences. And you can see that whole post is ready. People have liked it. It's got shares, etc. on my Facebook page. I can go ahead and advertise that, and then I'm done. So if you've got posts on your Facebook page that you want to advertise, this is how you do it. Use existing post, select the right one, and then you're good to go. I've got a few warning messages here that I can't use it on Instagram because it's a longer video than 60 seconds. Depending on your ad creative, you may get that sort of stuff included, but that's what I recommend. If you don't have a post set up on your Facebook page, you may want to create an ad. So there are a bunch of different types of ads you can create. So you can create an image or a video ad. You can create a carousel ad. To start with, I would recommend playing with a single image or single video ad because it's easier. You can learn the ropes. You can come in here, use a carousel, which is a slightly more advanced technique later down the line. So for start with, go with an image ad, let's say. Then you want to scroll down. So click on select image, and then when that comes up, go over to stock images. Now, I should say, before I jump into stock images, you can upload images. If you've got images on your Facebook page, you can use those. And that's great. If you do have those images of your products or services or something that you want to use, fantastic. Go ahead and select one of these options, upload the image, and then use that. A lot of people won't have those, and they'll be thinking, what sort of image can I use? In that case, Facebook has partnered with Shutterstock, so you can use their stock images for free. Really, really handy. So let's say, for example, I'm advertising, use our example of the tennis apparel company we've been using. In that case, ideally, I would upload images because I would want images of my own products to show in the ads. In fact, that would actually be really quite important. But if I didn't have those, I could search for tennis, taking a while for this to load, and then I could select one of these, just for demonstration purposes, select confirm, and that will pop that in here, and then obviously, you want to come in and select crop image to make sure the image is being displayed properly. So do you want it to cut off there? Probably not. It's probably a bit low down. That would look better. So this is just the area that shows here of what will actually appear on your Facebook ad. So just make sure you get this in the right location for your particular image. Obviously, if you've got your own images, then you can try and make sure they're the right size for Facebook images, and then you're good to go. So you can see all the time I'm creating this ad, on this little right-hand side, I've got a little preview of what the ad is going to look like. If I want, I can use a different image for Instagram. I'm not going to do that in this case. It says turn your image into video. Again, it's a bit more of an advanced technique. Ignore that for now. So where do we want this ad to take people? Well, we want it to take people to a page on our website. We're looking to sell. We're looking to advertise tennis apparel here. We're looking to sell it by sending people to the page where they can actually buy it on our website. So leave that as website. Don't worry about Facebook event or Messenger. Okay, first section we need to add some copy in is a text at the top. So This is where you want to add in stuff that's really going to help you sell your products and services. So you could include things in here like discount information if you're offering a discount. You could tell them about how fantastic your products are, something along those lines. So I could go with, for example, brand new and limited edition tennis shoes. I don't know too much about tennis, for example, so I can't talk too much about that. You could say that they cost £55 for a limited time only, and then pop a link to the website in there. Okay, so you might want to get a bit more creative with that. Really think about the benefits of the product and services. Why do people want these? So I could have, for example, you could, in this case, you could perform better at your next tennis match. But have a think about this. If you're struggling for ad inspiration and thinking, what could I write in my copy? A great tool, in fact, I'll quickly show you guys, is to head into Add Espresso Ad Examples. So come into Add Espresso Ad Examples, as I'm just doing here, and then you can search for ads. They've got a massive database of different ads. So if I pop in tennis and click Find Ads Now, then I can see example ads all about tennis. So that one's there about the US Open. That one's about tennis elbow. So you're going to find some that are a little bit not related to what you're after. Here you go, tennis balls losing their bounce. So that's an ad for tennis balls. But you can come in here, you can have a little search around, try and find ads that are similar to the products and services that you sell. If you're a little bit stuck, you can see what text they've used and potentially model from that if you'd like. Another thing to keep in mind on the ads, guys, is something I've created which is called a 5-part Facebook ad template. I'll include a link to that in the video description. That's a free download, something you can download on our website. It basically includes a bunch of different ads from a bunch of different industries I've created for our clients, where I've thought a lot more about the copy than I have on just this stuff here. It sort of breaks down each ad and explains what I've included in each and why. So if you want ads to model from, you find that very useful. Again, link will be in the video description. Click on that, go through to the website, and you can use that. Should be really useful. But enter in your copy here. Most of the time, when you're getting started, I like to keep it short. There are people that will basically put whole stories in here, which can work very well, usually for sort of service businesses and things that are very involved purchases, higher end. Most of the time, keep it short, 2 or 3 lines, explain what it is that you're offering, why they should buy it, why it's going to help them, and pop the link in. Simple as that. Okay. Then you want to put the website URL in here. So wherever you want to send people on your website, just pop in the link in there. The display link is completely optional. That will be displayed in here where it says displayurl.com. So you might want to put the name of your website in there, not a problem. And then you've got the headline. So the headline really wants to be something that's going to grab people's attention. So let's say, for example, I'm selling high quality tennis shoes for £55. I would want to go and pop that in the headline, because as I said, I don't know that much about tennis, but I'm pretty sure that £55 is probably quite a good price for tennis shoes. So I've got to have tennis shoes, £55. I could have in here, let's say we're running some sort of sale, I could have 50% off all tennis shoes. Something that's going to grab people's attention. Because remember, when they see these ads, this is a preview as a mobile newsfeed ad. They're going to be scrolling through their mobile newsfeed. So you want something that's going to grab people's attention. You want to keep that in mind with your image as well. It's going to grab their attention. They're going to pay attention to it. Oh, okay, yeah, tennis shoes. Oh, these look like great tennis shoes. I'm going to click on that ad, go through to your website, potentially make a purchase. Newsfeed link description, that's this section down here. Here you just want to provide more information about whatever it is that you're offering and tell people what to do. So let's say you could have something like, click here to claim your discounted, or claim doesn't really make sense, but you could have to get your discounted tennis shoes today. So explain a bit more information. These are discounted tennis shoes. Click here to get them today. As soon as they click on this, that'll go through to your website and you'll be able to see it. That's cut off there. It almost certainly will be on a mobile device. If I was to change that to desktop, then you'll be able to see the full thing. Then you've got your call to action button. If you're selling a product, I would go with shop now, which is there. If you're looking to generate leads, learn more is often appropriate, sometimes get quote, but basically I would just use whichever one of these is most appropriate to what you're offering. For most people, that's going to be shop now or learn more. Overlay, again, advanced technique, don't worry about that for now. different languages, don't worry about that for now. And then ideally you would have the Facebook pixel installed, and you'd have this activated so that you can track what people do when they come through to your website. Again, I've already mentioned it, but there'll be a link in the video description explaining how to install the Facebook pixel if you haven't already got that installed, guys. Please, 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 if you're going to run a Facebook ad campaign, get that installed before you get started. Very, very important. Okay, we can leave all that as is, and that's the ad done. This ad obviously doesn't make sense because I've been creating a bit of an example ad. So what I'm going to do is just go over to use existing post and then click select that one. Now I can go ahead and click publish, and this ad will then go into the review process. It'll take, in fact, I'll do it now because I'll catch the ad before it goes live. So I'm going to click publish, going to minimize that. You can see that that's publishing the changes. So publishing 3 of 3. There's 3 parts to a campaign, remember? There's the campaign, there's the ad set, and there's the ad. So you can see that right now this ad is in review. Take Facebook maybe 30 minutes, sometimes less, sometimes more, to review your ad, and then once it's ready, it will go live, and your ad will start being pushed out to your target audience. Once you've done that, you want to make sure that you keep a really good eye on it, especially over the first few days. Make sure, see how it's performing and all that sort of stuff. Try not to make too many adjustments early on. The ad, once it's first goes live, will go into the learning phase. During the learning phase, Facebook is basically trying to work out who is likely to take your desired action. So if you've used the conversions objective and you're optimizing for purchases, Facebook is going to try and find out who within your target audience is most likely to make a purchase. So this is like an experimental phase. Your results might not be as good as they will be over the long run. Don't judge an ad. Don't make too many adjustments because that will confuse Facebook's algorithms. Keep it simple. Come back in after 3 or 5 days and check. How many results am I getting? What is it costing me in this case per landing page view? Is that too expensive, etc.? What's it costing per link? What's my, in this case, you want to have a look at things like relevance score, which will be at the end. So relevance score is a number from 1 to 10, estimate how well your ads are performing, how well your target audience is responding to your ad. Important metric to keep an eye on. But that's it, guys. That's how you create a Facebook sponsored ad. In fact, I've showed you how to create the entire campaign. Much better to do it here in Ads Manager. It's quite a simple process when you know what to use and what to ignore. A lot of people get sort of lost and they try and fiddle with every single option that Facebook provides. As you'll see, as we're going through those 3 steps, I've ignored a lot of details. To get started with, just get going, experiment, learn, become a bit more confident, see a bit of results, make some adjustments. Then you can get onto some of the more advanced features and check out my YouTube channel. Check out leadguru.co.uk/blog for my blog post articles on those more advanced features. You should find it very useful. One thing before you go, I've already mentioned it, but it's my 5-part Facebook ad template. It's a free download. You can grab it on my website. Link will be in the video description. As I said, you can model from the ads in there. I've sort of broken those ads down. So if you're stuck for how to create an ad, what to use for the image, for the copy, for the headline, that's what you want to use to help you out. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be creating some more very soon. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments below, and I'll talk to you soon, guys. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.